Ooh. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be super chill. I'm just going to be doing my hair and makeup. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right in. I am going to be installing a wig today. This video is actually sponsored by Tinashe Hair Company. They did send over this wig for me to try, so we're going to be installing her. It's just like a cute curly wig. I've already bleached the knots on this unit, so she's all set to be installed. So we're just going to go ahead and get into this hair and makeup look. I don't know what I'm doing for my makeup yet. I'm still trying to figure that part out, so I'm kind of glad that I always do like my hair first because it kind of gives me time to like think about what I'm gonna do for my makeup and everything. But I just have my hair slicked back already. I know I look like a crazy person, but we don't judge around here, okay? We don't judge. I just have it in like two little braids here, so I'm just gonna pull these like braids back over here so I can go ahead and put on my wig cap. I'm not gonna be doing the bald cap method because I haven't done that in actually a long time. Like, I haven't done the bald cap method in a long time. And, I don't know. I don't think that I really need it anymore. I like to use two wig caps, by the way. So I already have one on. I'm just gonna, like, put on another. I like everything to be kind of like, ooh, you know what? This wig cap is kind of dirty. What the heck? Let me get a fresh one. But, like, every time I install my wigs without it, it looks fine. So that's the reason why I haven't really like done it in a while, because it just seems like kind of unnecessary at this point. Oh my gosh, what the heck. Oof. I like to wear two wig caps, so I have my first one on and I'll just go ahead and put on another one. I just like everything to be kind of like secure. And we're just gonna go ahead and start installing this wig. So this is what she looks like. It's just like a cute curly unit. I think I'm gonna cut it, honestly. I have this like cute little like tie-dye dress on, and I kind of want to do like a short, like cute, curly situation. So let me give you guys a little rundown on this wig. So yeah, this wig is from Tinashe Hair Company. It's a 13x4, and this is what the inside looks like. You're gonna have your wig combs. I think that's like conditioner there, so don't mind that. But yeah, so these are like your wig combs on the inside. So, and you have like your adjustable straps, of course. So just your typical 13x4 wig. And I'm just gonna put this wig on. I'm just gonna kind of test her out and see what she's looking like. Let me get this mirror in front of me so I can actually see what I'm doing. So before I go in and install everything and like secure this lace, I'm going to just kind of push back the front here with my hot comb, just so all the hair is out the way. To secure the lace, I'm going to use the Got To Be High Insta Hold hairspray. Looks like this. I already have all my edges slicked back, so I'm just going to push this hair backwards to get it out the way, and then I'll be back. Excuse me, just interrupting me. I'm going to use my blow dryer to dry this hairspray down. So yeah, I'm just going to speed past this part because you guys won't be able to hear me talk anyways because my blow dryer is going to be on. I'm gonna change this backdrop, you guys. I feel like the color is like too distracting with like my dress and everything. I don't know why, so I'm just gonna change it to something a little bit softer. Maybe like right, I think right there is perfect, yeah. It's not as like distracting, you guys know what I mean? Okay, yeah, back to securing the lace. guys, so I'm all done with my facelift. I'm just kidding. I honestly can't be the only person that feels that way when they get like their lace wig installed. It's like I literally feel like my face is just like lifted, but you know, I ain't mad at it. But I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting away all this excess lace, and I'm just gonna use my razor for that. I'm gonna cut away the sideburns first. I like to do that part just to kind of get it out the way. So did anybody else see that Sade literally launched or put out her albums on vinyl for sale for pre-order? Like, is anybody else like flipping out about that? Yesterday I hopped on Instagram and I literally, like, the first post that popped up was like Sade's Instagram page. Hey you guys, like, my whole entire discography is gonna be on vinyl. And yeah, it's gonna be a set of all 6 albums, pre-order October 8th. And I was just like, excuse me? The queen coming for our coins. That woman literally said, give me your money. Like, I want it. I'm just over here like, man, fine, take it. I love Sade so much. And she's a fellow Capricorn. Her music is just everything to me. It's crazy too how it literally like stands the test of time. Like the other day I was just running an errand and one of her songs came on the radio, and it's just amazing like how years and years later, like her music still flows with the music that is like on the radio these days, as far as like R&B is concerned. Like it still like resonates with the trend that's going on right now in the R&B like scene and stuff. But yeah, that woman is just, oh gosh, I love Sade. I really do. Let me know if you guys are gonna pre-order that that vinyl set, or if you like thought about pre-ordering it, because I'm like this close. I'm like literally like this close. I don't have a record player. That's the only reason why I'm kind of like hesitating about it, but someone told me that you can buy a record player at like Costco or Walmart, so I was like, man. I feel like the price is pretty reasonable too. Like it's $180 for all 6 of her albums on vinyl. That means you're paying like $30 for each album. So in my opinion, I don't feel like that's a bad price or anything like that. I feel like that's pretty reasonable for all 6 albums on vinyl, just considering how difficult her music is to find on vinyl right now. Like it's really hard to find like her vinyls. I feel like it's a pretty good deal, but yeah, man, I'm like this close to pre-ordering. If I get a record player prior to, you know, like it's selling out or whatever, because I know that it's gonna sell out. Like it's just gotta, like it's Sade. But if I get a record player, like prior, I might do it. I might just. As soon as I saw the post about the pre-order, I DM'd my brother and I told my sisters about it, because we're all 4 of us are like huge fans of Sade. Like we all love her music. And I DM'd my brother and I was like, dude, I'll go 50-50 with you. All I want is the Promise album. You can have all the rest of them. I just want the Promise album. And he's like, Tiffany, that's literally like the best one. That's literally like the best one. Like, what are you talking about? Let me know if you guys are like fans of Sade. Like if you saw the pre-order post, if you guys are gonna get it, like what your thoughts are and stuff about it, like the price point and stuff. Cause I know I'm a huge fan and your girl might just cop. Might just. All right guys, so the lace is secured. I'm just kind of like touching up before I go in with my razor and like cut up all of this excess lace. I like to kind of do these types of steps prior to cutting the lace, because once I do cut it, I just want to go in with my sorry, I got a message on my phone. But once I do cut the lace, I just like to go in and like add my like edges and everything and call it a day. Ooh. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut away this lace now. I don't know, guys. I'm like kind of ready for 2020 to be over. I try to kind of see like the bright side of things. Like when something bad happens, like I try to look at like, you know, the positive side of things, or like what's like the positive takeaway or like the silver lining. That's like kind of the approach that I'm trying to take with the death of Chadwick Boseman. It's just really hard, you know? It's just really hard. But I think the one thing that I took away from his life is, or one thing that I really admired about the way that he lived his life, is how purposeful he was with his like intentions. He really did everything with a purpose, you know? Like the roles that he took, you look at the roles that he took and it truly shows like that he really cared about the roles that he was taking and how it's going to affect the people that are, you know, watching his films and watching his work. You look at all the people that he played, they're literally all icons, like all icons, you know, from Black Panther to Thurgood Marshall to Jackie Robinson. Like these are all people that we consider like icons. And I think that's like the thing that I really took away from his life, to move with purpose, like when it comes to your intentions, to be really mindful about like your work and the impact that it's gonna have, you know, later on in life. But yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that believes that everything happens for a reason, including with like his life and with Kobe Bryant. Like all the things that are happening, I truly do feel like it's all happening for a reason. We may not understand it all right now, but in time, like all of those reasons come to light, or they come forward. I definitely learned like from Chadwick that how important it is to be purposeful when it comes to your intentions, like the work that you put out, with everything about your life, to really move with a purpose, and with a positive purpose at that. That's like the takeaway that I'm trying to kind of focus on, versus like, you know, like the sadness of it all, because it's an extremely like huge loss, but I feel like there's definitely something to take away from it. Just kind of knowing that there's something positive to take away from like these things that happen that just feel like extremely awful, it kind of makes me feel like a little bit better about the situation. If you're like struggling with everything, I'm sending prayers and positive energy to you. I really am, because it's hard. Like with everything that's been happening, it's really hard to deal with. Next up, I'm going to go back in with my hairspray, and I'm going to use this to actually style my edges. I've just been using this over the last couple of installs to like style them. It's just really easy. I can just spray it on my brush like that and just go in and like style the hair. And I feel like if you use like the right amount, like it makes the edges look like not too like pressed to the skin, if that makes sense. So I forgot my scissors, so I'm gonna use my razor comb here. I'm pretty much just gonna cut or razor like a little bit longer than what I actually want. All right guys, I was able to get some scissors so you don't have to use that razor comb, because that would have taken forever. I kind of want it to be like right here. Like it's gonna be pretty short. I'm just gonna go in, like I'm not even gonna like, yeah, I'm just gonna go in. Let's go. Yes, I'm aware that these are not like hair cutting scissors, but you know, you do what you gotta do. It's gonna look crazy for a second, but you gotta trust me. So now our hair looks like a triangle. So we're gonna correct that using our razor. This is where the razor comes in handy. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna go mostly over the ends. I'm not gonna really focus it too much like on this part of the hair because I want all of this to have like lots of body, like the top. I just want the ends to be a lot thinner so it doesn't look like triangular, you know? So that's the shape. So I'm gonna go back in with my leave-in conditioner and a mixture of water, and I'm just gonna spray that through the hair to start redefining those curls again. Did I bring my satin scarf? Oh my gosh, I hope I did. Now that I can see like where I want my flip to be, I can kind of like, you know, touch things up a little bit more. That is too cute. I love this haircut so much because it's just like so like effortless. Next thing you want to do is add some product for sure. This is gonna kind of just keep the curls really defined, kind of like the almost like wet look type of thing. So I'm definitely gonna add some product to the hair to keep that like wet effect. So I'm just using the Lotta Body like wrapping foam, and I'm gonna run that through the hair. That's pretty much the hair, guys. From here, I'm just gonna do some touching up, make sure there's no like, you know, there'll be like little pieces here and there that are just like slightly longer than the other pieces. So I'll just like cut those away. You guys, I forgot my satin scarf at home. I forgot it. Dang it. I'm trying to think of a way I can improvise. I have this scarf right here. Oh, let me see. Oh my gosh. Come through Tinashe Hair Company. Do you see this? Do you see this? I'm gonna need this camera to focus because baby, Tinashe just came through for the girl. Yes, we have a satin scarf. So yes, we have a satin scarf. Along with that satin scarf, actually, let me show you guys the other stuff that comes in this box. So you're gonna get a little silk bonnet, you get a satin scarf. Come through Tinashe Hair Company. Okay, yes. I'm just so happy right now because I was literally like scared that I like wasn't gonna be able to set the style the way that I wanted to. So along with the satin scarf, like I said, you're gonna get a little silk bonnet here. It's just a cute gold color. And then you have your little elastic band. I don't know how, I've never used this before, but I believe that you can sew it to the inside to make the wig a little bit more secure. And then you're gonna have your wig. It also comes with a little satin bag. I like to use these instead of the actual box to store my wigs because this is a little bit easier to just, it's just much easier to store and much easier to travel with your wigs with this versus like the box. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is just push this hair back right here. We are gonna add our satin scarf. Let me just figure out how, because this is kind of like wide. You have no idea, I was literally about to like flip out because I forgot my satin scarf at home to set the style. Something told me, Tiffany, look in the box. Look in the box. Look in the box. And there it was. Boom. All right, guys, but that's pretty much it for the hair. If you have any questions or like want to check out this hair on like the Tinashe Hair Company website, definitely check the description box down below. I'm leaving all of the information for this hair down below in the description box. But yeah, I'm pretty much all done with the hair. I'm just gonna let this this wrapping foam, this Lotta Body wrapping foam just kind of set and dry. And while I'm doing my makeup, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the makeup look. I'm gonna do one eye off camera and then I'll be back to show you guys the other eye so we can dive right into the entire makeup look. Alright guys, so we are back. I have one eye basically done here. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the other eye. We're going to start with the eyes first, of course. I'm going to prime using some concealer and my handy dandy Be Perfect Perfect Prime eyeshadow base. So I'm using this, and I'm using a little bit of the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin 24-hour concealer in the shade 4.5. So I'm going to go in with my concealer first. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to carve underneath my brows. I like to do this step first before I go in with my primer, so it's a little bit easier for me to have to blend in my primer. So I'm just gonna carve underneath the brows. I'm using a Simply Simmons Filbert number 10 brush. I got this from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I don't know, this brush is like so getting old now. I've been using this brush for a really long time, but this is not a eyeshadow brush or like a regular makeup brush. This is actually a paint brush. I actually got this idea from Mitchell like a really long time ago. These types of brushes just hold their shape better. So you remember that period of time where everybody was kind of using like eyelash glue to make their brushes really flat? With paint brushes, you don't necessarily have to do that. And then I'm going to go in with my Be Perfect eyeshadow priming base, and you'll see why I add the concealer right now. See how light that is? For me personally, I don't like to use a primer this light all over the eye, like to carve underneath the brows and everything like that. I prefer to go in with a concealer that's closer to my skin tone for the brows, and then add my eyeshadow primer onto the lid and blend the primer into the concealer. Like if I had that primer on the brow bone and I had my foundation up here, you're gonna see like a really huge difference between that space from here to here. And I don't really like that. I like it to be kind of like closer together. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you get it, then you get it. Anyways, I'm gonna go in first with the Ace Beauty Blossom Passion palette. For my first shade, I'm gonna go in with this color here called Seduction. So that really, really dark color there. I'm gonna use this shade on the crease first. I'm gonna be doing like a more rounded shape, but it's still gonna be pretty winged out, like it's still pulled out pretty dramatically. You wanna use a very light hand and just kind of like graze the surface of the skin. So I'm just gonna apply the shadow and just kind of build it up until like I'm satisfied with like the pigmentation. I'm pretty much gonna go next into the Ace Beauty Nostalgia palette. This is a brand new palette that they recently launched. I love the color story. Look at all of these beautiful colors. Oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. I love Ace Beauty so much. Like they literally have like some of the best color stories. But I'm gonna go into this color right here. This one is called Flip Flops, and I think I'm gonna mix in a little bit of Carnival. I'm done applying that second color. I'm just going in very lightly with my first transition color and or first crease color, and I'm just like retouching it, because sometimes when you apply your second transition color and your third transition color, the colors that you applied before kind of get lost in the sauce there. So I like to go in and just like retouch those shades. That's why it's good to use separate brushes for each of your shades. So next I'm going to go into this shade Vacation here. So I'm going in with a third Morphe M506. I have 3 Morphe M506s, 1 for each shade. This is pretty much like the only brush that I use for my eyeshadows. Like I don't really use any other brush. Like sometimes I'll use like a large fluffier brush, and I'll show you guys which one that is later. But for the most part, I use the Morphe M506, and then if I need something to be a little bit more detail oriented, I'll use the Morphe M507 since it's slightly more tapered. Okay, so this is the one time that I'll use like a fluffier brush for my eyeshadows. This is a Crown C200 Deluxe Crease Brush. This brush is literally like years old. I probably need to throw it away. I actually got this at the makeup show in New York like years ago, and I bought 3 of them. And I just haven't been able to let them go. They're just such amazing brushes, and they literally held up all this time. There haven't been any shedding or anything like that. This is like the only time that I'll go in with like a fluffier brush, is to diffuse that outer edge, like to really, really soften it. I think I have that orange down to where I like it, so I'm gonna go back into that shade Flip Flops, our second transition color, and I'm gonna start building that in between. That's good for me. So I'm gonna go back in with my eyeshadow primer next, the Be Perfect one. I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand this time because we're gonna be using this to kind of clean up the lid space. I'm gonna add a little bit of that eyeshadow primer onto a Morphe M522, and I'm going to gently tap this primer, not using a ton, only a very small amount. You don't need a lot. I'm going to tap it onto the lid and very carefully create the shape of my lid space that I want. So I'm gonna go in and start applying my lid eyeshadows. So I'm gonna move on to another palette. We're using the Colored Raine Juicy Boost palette next. This little beauty right here, we're dipping into this palette next. I'm gonna go in with the shade Energy Boost, which is like this really beautiful, kind of like bluish green type of color. I'm gonna start applying that onto the outer portion of the lid. I'm using a Morphe M507. Like I said, this is like the other Morphe blending brush that I like to use other than the Morphe M506. I like to use this brush for things like this, where I want the color to be blended, but it needs to be like, you know, still very detailed in like a specific spot. Going back into the Juicy Boost palette, I'm then going to take this beautiful light green right here called Cucumber Avocado. I've been so excited to use this color because I think it's really, really pretty. I'm going to go into that shade and I'm going to take a flat shader brush. This one is a Sigma E55, and I'm going to press this right on the lid. I'm going to be doing like a smoky liner, so I'm going to start off with my base. For that, I'm using the Revlon So Fierce Vinyl Eyeliner, and this one is in the shade, what shade is this? It's just like a purple color, but it's called Powerful Plum, number 865. I'm going to be, like I said, be doing a smoky liner, so I'm going to use this as like a base for it. So I'm using a really small, like smudgy brush. This is a Morphe M213. And I'm going to go over just the edges. I'm not going over the entire eyeliner that we just applied. I'm going over the edges and I'm going to soften them. I'm then gonna go in with my purple, so the shade Carnival right here, and I'm also gonna use this shade right here, and I'm gonna use this shade Seduction right here. And those are the three colors that I'm going to, wait, but this color right here. Those are the three colors that I'm gonna use to create my smoky liner. So I'm gonna go in with that shade Carnival first, which is the purple. And I'm gonna take some on a Makeup Addiction Precision Shader brush, and I'm going to pat that over the liner. Okay, so next up we're gonna add some pigments. I'm gonna be using some neon pigments from Melolops Cosmetics. These are the radioactive neon pigments. So I'm gonna use this green and this yellow one, and we're gonna start off with the green one first. I'm not using a whole lot of this. Like, you're gonna see, like, it's literally just like the tiniest amount. And we're just gonna add this right in the center, like right where that blue and that green that we applied before meet. We're gonna apply it right there. And that's just gonna further blend, you know, create that really smooth blend, but it's also gonna like amp up that green that we applied before. I'm going to take my yellow, this color, do the same thing, just pick up a little bit of color off the cap, and I'm gonna add that right on the inside. I'm just gonna use the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, so this one right here. This one's new to me, so this is like my first time trying it. I'm just gonna add that to my top lashes here. Ooh, that's a good mascara. Okay. But you know, Maybelline always like comes through with the mascaras. Like, they never really like miss with mascaras. So the eyes are done. I have my mascara on. I'm gonna add my lashes. I don't know what lash I want to use today. I'm loving the way that this makeup is just like coordinating with this dress. It's like such a mood for me right now. Let me see which lash I want to go with. I think I'm gonna go with the Material Girl lash, honestly, because that's bae right there. That lash is bae. This lash is just like so ridiculously curly. I've never had a pair of lashes this curly before. Like, and they literally curl like that on their own. For skin, while I'm waiting for my lashes to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize using the Laura Mercier Flawless Skin Glow Mask. So this baby right here. I really wanted to use a thicker primer or moisturizer today because my skin is kind of dry. I'm just gonna let that sit into the skin, and while it's doing its thing, I'm gonna apply my lashes. Gosh, I love the way that this eye makeup is coming out. I was kind of scared because I didn't really have a plan going into it, but it looks really good. All right, guys, so before I go on any further with skin, I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Lip Injection Maximum Plump and apply that to the lips because my lips are just really dry. And then next, I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. This is a new line by Selena Gomez. I've never tried any of her products before, but I'm very grateful that she sent them through PR. Ooh, this is very illuminating. Okay. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it feels okay. I don't think it's like anything like revolutionary or anything, but it's very illuminating for sure. I'm then gonna go in with foundation. And again, I'm using one from Rare Beauty. She did launch a foundation brush as well, so I'm gonna use that too. So I'm just gonna add my foundation now. I'm using the shade 410N. So she also launched this little beauty sponge right here. This is a lot more porous than a typical blender. Yeah, you can kind of see. Let's see. It's not that bad, but you can kind of see like the pores of the sponge. Yeah, I think I'll just use the foundation brush, because you can kind of see like the little holes on the sponge. So I'm just going to use the foundation brush and just kind of blend it in. Oh, that's really pretty. It blended out really nicely. If you're not so much into full coverage, like, I feel like you'd probably like this. I've actually been wanting to kind of transition into not so full coverage like foundations, especially now that my skin's kind of getting back to normal. Like, I'm not breaking out as much. My dark marks are kind of going away. Yeah, I've been wanting to transition into like less full coverage foundations for a while, but I've just been kind of waiting for my skin to go back to normal. So I'm gonna go in with my Japanese sponge and just like push that foundation in. That forehead looks really good. Oh yeah, that looks really nice, guys. I like it. Everything in her like in her line looks very cute. Like, I was showing my sisters the line because they're not so much into like full glam makeup like I am. They're more of like a subtle type of makeup look. So they don't really like full coverage foundations. They're not super into like, you know, heavy eyeshadow like I am and everything. They still like makeup, but they're just not like into full glam like this. So they appreciate the line just how like lightweight the foundation is and not like super full coverage it is. But I like the fact that, you know, someone like me can appreciate it, where you know, you guys know I like to have like full glam, like full coverage and stuff like that. Like, someone like me can appreciate it, but also the person that doesn't really like that can also use it as well. So I'm gonna go in with the concealer here. This is in the shade 410 as well. I use the shade 410 for foundation, so I'm just using the concealer to like kind of do some like touch-ups right here. Like, I'm like really surprised at how full coverage that concealer is. I'm gonna go in next with my my other concealer to brighten. So this is shade 370N. And I'm gonna use this on all the areas that I want to highlight. So right underneath, oh yay, okay, yes. So I'm gonna use this underneath here, right over here. I love this applicator. It's like a slanted applicator. Like, it's doe foot, but it's like slanted. So I'm gonna go in right here and just kind of highlight all the areas that I typically would. This is like the perfect shade too. It has like a little bit of golden in there, but it's not like too yellow. Okay, she cute. I'm just gonna set everything with powder now. I'm using the Too Faced mattifying loose setting powder. I'm not gonna like bake with this because I'm gonna use a different powder to bake. I just want to set before this like creases and those little lines that I have underneath my eyes. I'm gonna use the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, medium to dark. So this guy right here, I haven't used this in a little bit, but I love this bronzer, and it's super affordable. I'm gonna use a mixture of these two colors right here, and I'm just gonna use that to warm up the face. So bronzer's on. I'm gonna go ahead and bake at this point. To bake, I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier translucent powder in Honey. So this powder right here, she has a really beautiful yellow undertone here. So I'm gonna take my blender and just dip it in and then like snatch the sides of the nose. I'm only gonna apply this like right here. So while it's baking, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my blush. I'm using the BH Cosmetics Bellini blush palette, so it looks like this. And I'm just gonna grab like a mixture of like these two shades right here, and I'm gonna apply that onto the apples of the cheeks. So I'm just gonna press that onto the cheeks there and blend it into that bronzer. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I think I just want to match like the crease color. So I'm pretty much just going to use the same shades that I use for the crease. So I'm going in with Vacation, and then I'm using a little bit of Flip Flops, and then I'll go in with the shade Seduction from the Blossom Passion by Ace Beauty. And then I just need my inner corner highlight. I think I'm just going to use a shade called Citrus Ginger from the Juicy Boost palette. And I'm just going to add that using like a little pointed brush, like a domed brush. Just kind of like pop that into the inner corners. The next step, I'm going in with the BH Cosmetics Power Pencil in the shade Beige, and I'm just going to use this on the waterline. And then I'm going to go in with my lower lash mascara, just going using the same mascara that I did on the top lashes, so the Maybelline Lash Sensational. Then I'm going to go in with my lower lashes from Ardell. These are the Double Ups, and I like to use the shortest ones. So I'll add a little bit of lash glue onto the back of my hand, like that. And then using my tweezers, I'm just going to take like 2 of these and just pop them onto the outer portion of the lower lash line. And that is it for the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the face. I just need to add my highlighter. So I'm using the Maybelline Master Comb highlighter in shade number 100 Molten Gold. And I'm just gonna add that to the center right here. Doing my brows next. For brows, I'm using the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit in shade number 5. I don't like to go too crazy with my brows. I pretty much prefer like a feathered brow. So I like to use the Precisely My Brow Pencil because it's really pointy and it just makes like a really perfect, it like complements like that feathered brow look. I'm then gonna go in with some brow gel. This is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I love this stuff. I like the fact that it has like a flat edge on like its side. So I like to kind of like apply the product using the flat edge. And then I'll go in with like the comb side and like comb it through. last thing I gotta do is lips. I'm gonna go ahead and line first. So I'm gonna line first. I'm gonna try something different today. I always use like the same lip combo, but I'm gonna try a different lip liner. I've used this lip liner before. This is the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in shade Cold Brew. I forgot how good these lip liners are, my gosh. And I like to go in with the second one, so I'm gonna use Edible by Melt Cosmetics. Mine's just getting pretty short. It's time for me to open up that other one. And then for my liquid lipstick, I'm gonna use the new Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. And this is from their coffee collection. This is in the shade Chai Genius. It's just like a really cute nude color. You guys know I like nude. I'm always wearing nude. These smell so good. It smells like chai tea, and I love chai tea so much. It's like my favorite drink to get. Wow, that is cute. That is such a good color. Oh my gosh. And it smells like chai tea. It's so nice. I'm gonna go in with the gloss next. So I love Painted by Spencer. I watch all of his videos. I think he's like amazing. He's such an amazing artist. And this is like the gloss that he recommends everybody. So I went out and got it because it's Spencer. And if he says you need it, then sis, you need it. This is the Buxom Plumping Polish, and this is in the shade Dolly. I always like to apply my glosses using a brush because I usually like to kind of like load up on gloss. I use quite a bit, so a brush just kind of makes it easier to, you know, spread over the lips. Okay, Spencer. Okay, I get it, boo. I get it. So here's the thing that I like about this gloss. I'm not a huge pink girl. I like to use nudes that are more on the beige or like the peachy side. That's like my preference. I usually kind of shy away from like pink nudes. I don't know why. I just feel like peachy tones look more flattering with my complexion. I like it because it's not overly pink. It has like that subtle like pink tone to it. It's like more of like a mauvey type pink. Okay, Spencer, we see you. We see you with the suggestions and we love, okay? This is too cute. To set the face, I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty Always Optimist setting spray. Let's see. And that is the finished look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this hair and makeup tutorial. I hope you guys are enjoying these little like chit chat videos as well. I'm definitely like having like so much fun like doing these like videos, like talk throughs and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, what are you waiting for, love? Subscribe, join the family. Let me know what you guys think of the look down below in the comments. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. But thank you again for watching, guys. I love you, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.